Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for today's video, and you should be too, because we're talking story time. I'm going to be putting into practice all of my speech pathology reading strategies and showing you why I do what I do. Every move I make is calculated during story time, and I'll be explaining to you the method to my madness. So let's get started. The first strategy is to set the stage. You'll notice I'm cleaning up the playpen, I'm getting the boys involved, and what this does is it signals to the babies that we are transitioning to story time, so they're mentally prepared for what's about to happen. Now, whenever I do anything, I always tell the boys what I'm doing. So I explain to them, boys, we're about to read a story. And then the very first book that I'm reading is their favorite book, the Bumblebee book. I'm going to put a link in the description to all the books that I'm reading today and to my friend's company that made these adorable little animals to go with the Bumblebee book. So yes, this is one of my techniques, is to use manipulatives during story time, especially for the little babies, because it really gives them something to hold, to touch, to look at in addition to the book, and that makes it a multi-sensory experience. Very similar to a baby-led weaning approach, for eating, I take a baby-led reading approach with reading. So something that babies love to do at this age is pull things out of boxes or bags. And so when I use manipulatives during story time, I always make sure to put them in a bag so that I can let the boys pull them out of the bag. Something really simple, but it's something they totally love to do. So by setting the stage, clearing out the area, and also keeping them contained, I have created an environment where I don't really have to say no to anything. I don't have to chase after them and say, come back here, come back here. It's controlled. It's an environment where they can just feel free to be creative and play and also enjoy an awesome story, of course. Say hi, Panda. Say hi, Panda. Good job. Boys, we have two more animals. Two more animals in the bag. Can you get the animals out of the bag? Grammy got one. Oh! Gabriel, can you get the other animal out of the bag? Good job! No more animals in the bag. It's empty. You can look inside the bag. It's all empty now. During this activity, I'm promoting receptive language growth by narrating the play. Specifically, the vocabulary that I am targeting are greetings, such as hi when I wave at Gabriel with the panda. Also in and out, as I explain that they're pulling things out of the bag and that the animals are in the bag. Then counting as Graham pulls them out, that there were two, now there's one. And as they develop object permanence, I illustrate for them that once he pulls them out of the bag, there's nothing left inside. All the while, I'm speaking to my babies in complete sentences. So try to avoid using fragmented speech, such as put in, take out. All that does is confuse a baby. Their little brains are wired to process correct syntax, so I would encourage you to use grammatically correct sentences. Just don't make it too complex. Use nice, simple sentences with pauses in between that the babies can understand, so that they really grasp the concept of proper grammar. All right, now I'm going to let you just sit back and enjoy a little bit of story time. But before, let me just point out a couple of things that I always do during my storytelling, and then you can enjoy it. First, I always want the babies to open the book and turn the pages. So I always model the action before I ask them to do it. So I'll say, open the book as I open the book, close it, and then prompt them to do it. Same thing with turning the pages. Then you'll notice as I introduce the manipulatives, I include as much vocabulary as possible about them. I'll talk about their color, descriptive features of the animals. Then I include gestures and tactile stimulation, and I'll touch their heads and make it super fun and interactive. I also use a nice sing-songy tone of voice. And the last thing I'll say is that any little communicative attempt they make, I reward it by mimicking it and trying to make it meaningful. I try to add a little bit of meaning to whatever they say. This way, you're promoting verbal communication and letting them know that what they say can carry meaning. Bumblebee, bumblebee, who do you see? It's a baby zebra with stripes like me. Boys, you both have stripes on your pants. The bumblebee has stripes on him, and the zebra has stripes on him. Mwah, mwah. Can you give the zebra a hug? Oh, give him a hug. Look. Oh, we love the zebra. Can you give him a hug? Good job, Gabriel. Good job. Okay. Boys, ready? Let's turn the page. Can you turn the page? Good job. Ready? Bumblebee, bumblebee, who do you see? It's a baby panda who sat in a tree. Turn the page. Can you turn the page? Can you turn the page? Good job, Grammy. And bumblebee, bumblebee, who do you see? It's a busy bee. A busy bee. Who looks just like me? Who looks just like me? Yes! The end. Now let's close the book. Ready? Good job. That was the Bumblebee book. Boys! Now, what sound does a bumblebee make? What sound does a bumblebee make? Good job, Gabriel. Good job. Okay. Goodbye, book. Goodbye, book. For our next book, I'm letting the boys choose which one we read. This is the most basic receptive language skill of choosing between two items. Whichever one they choose, we're going to read. It also gives them a lot of power and a lot of pride, like, oh yeah, I just chose that. And it reinforces that decision making. It just so happens that this little spider book that he chose is perfect for emergent literacy skill development, specifically the directional nature of print. So as I trace my finger along the page of all these little simple sentences in this book, it's teaching the babies that we read from left to right and that the letters on the page actually carry meaning and they're not just random little things scribbled on the page for fun. Good job! Okay, ready? Let's open the book. Grammy, can you open the book? Good job. In the garden, tucked away. Feel the spider. Feel the spider. Good job. Oh! Ready? Turn the page. Can you turn the page? Good job. Little spider, weave weaves all day. He's weaving, weaving, weaving. Wanna come touch the spider? Wanna come touch the spider, Gabriel? Very good touch. Goo goo gaga goo goo. Love it. Is that what he says? Goo goo gaga goo goo gaga. Googie googie googie. Oh, googie 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 googie. Turn the page. Can you turn the page, Grammy? Remember, turn the page. Can you do it? Oh, still feeling the spider. Good job. Oh, we turn the page. Round and round she spins her web. Round and round she spins her web. We definitely saved the best for last over here in terms of books. This was actually a gift from my aunt, and I have to say it's one of the best books for all of my little speech therapy wants and desires. Visually, the book is very appealing, and on each page it portrays very clear images of all of the animals on Old MacDonald's farm. Auditorily, it provides music to the brain. Music has been shown time and again by the research to have a positive effect on babies' brain development. And then tactile stimulation. This book is a bubble wrap book. As you turn the pages, you can push the little buttons and it feels just like you're popping bubble wrap. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's very satisfying to pop some bubble wrap. So we can only imagine that it's going to be just as satisfying for our babies. Again, I told you I'm putting a link in the description to all the books that I'm talking about today, but I highly encourage you to check out these kinds of books because they're the best. That's right. Polka Dot. Old MacDonald's farm. Ready, boys? Can you open the book, Grammy? Good job! Do, 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 do. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had 10 cows, E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. How many cows do we have, boys? Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10! 10 cows, boys! What sound does a cow make? Moo! Very good, boys. Very good. That just about wraps it up for all of my reading strategies for my babies. One of the main takeaways that I want you to get from today's video is that story time is a time for your babies to develop a love of learning. It's a time for exploration, it's a time for language growth, and it's a time to realize that whatever they do is acceptable. We don't want to condemn any of their little communicative attempts or actions that they do during story time. That's why it's so important to set the stage before you start reading. Be nice and organized so that whatever they do is allowed. And then no matter what stage of development they're in, the principle still applies that you want to find something they love to do, like at this stage, pull things out of a bag. You want to include that into story time so that they know they have something to look forward to that's very rewarding during story time. Now let's look at the books, boys. Yeah. You can look at that one and you can look at that one. I hope that this video gave you a little bit of inspiration to read to your babies. And seriously, don't worry about anything. As long as you're sitting there, loving your babies, interacting with them, they're going to love it. The main thing that I think my babies love about story time is the undivided attention that I give them. So there's no going wrong. There are no mistakes that you can possibly make. And if you even just take one of the strategies that I shared with you today and implement it with your own children, definitely let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about how your story time routine is going. And also feel free to reach out to me on Instagram if you have any specific questions about your child's unique needs. I'm always happy to talk to parents about specific concerns you might be having about your child's language development. So never hesitate to reach out to me. Instagram is a really good way to get in touch with me one-on-one. But that is it for today's video. I hope this helped. I hope you're doing well, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!